So before we get this review underway, we'll be celebrating the legacy of The Undertaker, who has officially retired from in-ring competition. But I think after what we saw with Corbin, do I really think we may see Undertaker again? Probably. But Undertaker did say that he has no desire to get back into the ring. So hopefully Undertaker can happily stay retired. This probably would have just been done just to give Corbin heel heat. But at this point in time, I just want to say the Undertaker was a very intriguing character. He had a legacy. He had a legacy that he had to carry for 30 years, and it would have been very difficult for someone like the Undertaker, especially in today's generation of wrestling. If his character was in today's generation of wrestling, I don't think it would have really worked. I don't know if it would have worked, but some people may think it would have. Of course, the bloody cable decides to break. Well, not break. Sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to bloody fix this laptop charger thing. It just keeps coming off. Just keeps coming off. Sorry about that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Me doing this while I'm trying to tribute the Undertaker. I don't think the Undertaker's character would have worked in today's generation, but the only reason why I believe it did is because his legacy was so strong that people would enjoy it. But I will say this: Undertaker, his legacy will go down as one of the greatest of all time. He will definitely go down as one of the greatest. He is Hall of Fame material. Wouldn't surprise me if he gets inducted next year. Like, we've already got our inductees for the Hall of Fame this year. We just don't know when the Hall of Fame is ever going to happen. But all I'm saying is The Undertaker, he had a great career. He will go down as one of the all-time greats. His WrestleMania streak will always be remembered. And I still believe to this day, his streak should not have ended at WrestleMania 30, especially to Brock Lesnar. Especially when he said it on his documentary that he believes someone like Brock Lesnar didn't need it. And I agree. With the Taker. But we're not here to talk about the Undertaker. Even though I think we should be, because this Smackdown, because people on my Twitter, my friends on my Twitter, like to call Smackdown Friday Night Banks, or my assumptions, Saturday morning Banks. Today, that gets cancelled for one night. It was all about the Undertaker. Tonight that gets cancelled. It's all about the Undertaker. So just for one night only, it is Friday Night Taker, or Saturday morning Taker for me. But either way, The Undertaker had a great career. He should have retired after WrestleMania 30, in my opinion. But hey, at least he's now finally retired, and we can now finally appreciate the career that he had. Smackdown showed his Boneyard match. So they showed that match in honor of the Undertaker. Just rewatching that simulation movie, because you guys know my opinions, my feelings about the Boneyard match. You heard my feelings about it on my WrestleMania review. Just going back watching it, I still have the same opinion about it. But what's worse is now that we know Gallows and Anderson are fired from WWE, just going back and just watching this simulation and seeing Gallows and Anderson there, it just makes you feel awkward. Just makes it feel awkward that that was the last time we ever saw them. So so after the Undertaker tribute, we had Baron Corbin in the ring, belittling the Undertaker, talking him down just to gain heel heat. And then Jeff Hardy came out and attacked King Corbin after what he said about the Undertaker. Then we finally had our first match. The first hour, the first half hour was all about the Undertaker. Then we finally had a match. It was a women's fatal 4-way of Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke, and Alexa Bliss. And of course, this match made me nervous because A, Alexa Bliss was in it, and B, Lacey Evans was in it. Two of Vince McMahon's Golden Girls. Two of Vince McMahon's favorite blondes. And I'm very glad that neither of them won. Nikki Cross got the win. I would have rather Dana Brooke. But I'll take Nikki Cross. I would have rather Dana Brooke get that opportunity because I feel like she deserves it. Because she's the one blonde that WWE never pushes. But I will definitely take Nikki Cross. And Nikki Cross winning this match. And Alexa Bliss just being happy that Nikki won. I would not be surprised if they went with Alexa Bliss turning heel. I would not be surprised if Alexa Bliss would turn on Nikki Cross. I'm not going to be surprised if they go with that direction. To be honest, I really don't want them to go that way. I really don't want WWE to go the typical way of making Alexa the heel. I would rather them make Nikki the heel. I would rather them make Nikki Cross the heel. Like, Alexa Bliss just accidentally costs Nikki Cross the championship and Nikki turns heel. That's how I would do it. I'd have Alexa accidentally cost Nikki Cross to where Nikki Cross turns heel out of frustration that her best friend cost her the chance to become SmackDown Women's Champion. But it doesn't seem like that'll be the direction they will be going. It seems like they're going to be going with the predictable and obvious route with Alexa Bliss turning heel instead. We had a random and pointless 8-person tag. We had the Lucha Summer House Bum Party and the New Day take on Miz and Morrison, hey hey ho ho, and Cesaro and Nakamura. We all need to remember this was supposed to be the Forgotten Sons. This was meant to be for the Forgotten Sons, but because of Jackson Riker's comments, that ain't happening. Nakamura and Cesaro are now in this position. And I'm pretty sure I've explained that to you guys a couple of times already on these reviews. The babyfaces got the win. Lucha House Party pinned The Miz. Not really got anything to say about that, really. Also, I don't know if this is what they'll be doing, but since the main event's next, I thought I'll talk about something here real quick about the Fatal 4-Way, the Women's Fatal 4-Way. I thought it was weird they didn't include Naomi and Tamina. The only thing that I could possibly think of off the top of my head is maybe we could get Naomi and Tamina reuniting as a tag team. I personally don't mind it. I don't mind if they want to put Naomi and Tamina back together, reform Team Bad. I don't think that's a terrible idea. I don't think it's a terrible idea. It would at least that way you would gain more teams. At least that way you'll gain another team. You'll have Naomi and Tamina together. I don't think that's a bad idea, to be honest. I would love to see Naomi and Tamina challenge for the women's tag team titles. I think that'd be interesting. But I can't sit here and say that Naomi's heel gimmick was good. I got the whole thing that she said she's amazing because that was what her theme song was, but I didn't understand the whole heel gimmick at the time. So if it was up to me, I wouldn't go back to... I wouldn't... Like, as much as I love the idea... Well, I don't love the idea. I like the idea. As much as I would like the idea of Naomi and Tamina getting back together, but the problem is, that means you're reverting back to what she did in 2015. You can't come up with anything new for her. You can't come up with anything new for her as a heel, so you're just like, oh, well, what did she used to do as a heel back then? Oh, she was with Tamina. She used to be Team Bad with Tamina, so we'll just put her back with Tamina. Not saying it's a bad idea, but if you put Tamina back with Naomi, then you're reverting back to what they did in 2015. I just think they could easily come up with something new for both women. You want to put them back together as a team? That's great, but maybe give them like a new character. Give them something. Give them a new character. Give them something refreshing about them. Get rid of the glow. Get rid of the glow. Come up with something new for them. Make them more vicious or something. You know, come up with a new character for them if you want to put them back together. I feel like the tag team division really needs to be more built up upon, which is why I don't have a problem with Liv Morgan going back with Ruby Riott. I know some people prefer Liv Morgan as a single star, but I would rather them focus on the women's tag division. I would rather them, you know, build up the women's tag division more, so that way Sasha and Bayley can actually drop their damn titles. They've already beaten everybody. They've already beaten all the women that were tag teams. So why not have Naomi and Tamina together? Why not do Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, Natalya and Lana? At least that way you'll have more teams. That's the only thing that is making me okay with putting Naomi and Tamina back together. If it was up to me, I would include Bianca Belair. I would include Bianca Belair to the team, to Naomi and Tamina, but because Bianca is on Raw, you can't really do that. That's the only reason why that's the only reason why I cannot include Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair and Naomi would be an amazing team if you didn't want to do Tamina. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I wanted to talk about something else before we get to the main event. And the main event was Jeff Hardy and King Corbin. Did not care about this at all, which is why I decided to talk about the women, because I didn't care about this main event. Jeff Hardy won, and all the wrestlers, well, not all the wrestlers, because Michael Cole likes to be a complete idiot in his wording. Jeff Hardy, Braun Strowman, The New Day, and Matt Riddle all beat the crap out of King Corbin for what he said. Also, Braun has decided to challenge Bray to some kind of swamp Wyatt swamp thing. I don't know what the hell. He's doing something with Bray. It was definitely very interesting, but we're getting another cinematic match, which, as you guys know, I'm not a fan of those. So yeah, New Day, Braun Strowman, and Matt Riddle all beat the crap out of Baron Corbin after what he said about Undertaker. I would have had a women in there. I would have had either Alexa or Dana go in there and just do their big move on Corbin. That would have been the only way I would have been satisfied, if they decided to get one of the females in there and just do one of their moves on Corbin. I thought that would have been hilarious. What poetic justice, what irony it would have been if they had Lacey do it. Because it would... imagine that. Imagine they had Lacey Evans go in there and do her woman's right, or her moonsault on Baron Corbin. Because wasn't it this time last year Corbin was teaming with Evans? That would have been pretty funny. That would have been pretty funny. But if it was me, I would have picked either Dana or Alexa just to go in there and do their move on Corbin. But they didn't have the balls to do it because, of course, they didn't want to. Because I thought it would have been a cool... Because why have them out there? Why have them out there if they're not going to do anything? But whatever. Anyway, that was your review, guys. I didn't really enjoy Smackdown this week. It wasn't really all that great. It was all about The Undertaker. And yeah, that's really all I've got to say about this episode of SmackDown. Hit that thumbs up, comment your thoughts down below, and see you all next time.